so now you got these disease-free plants, no pests. You got them planted in here. Like, what's your parts per million that you're using?
We like to gradually move it up so it doesn't just get blasted right away, because it's a lot to handle just right away. So we like to probably start it off for the first week or two. We do about 600, and then we move it up to about 800.
Okay.
And then gradually through the veg cycle, when they start becoming big plants, like this one was about this tall towards the end of veg.
Yep.
We were giving it about 1600. In flowering, just to get these buds to really fill out, we go up to about 2500 sometimes.
2500 ppm.
That's about the highest. Yeah, that's where we top out.
And how many times a week are you feeding? How many times are you watering?
Well, we feed usually about 4 times a week. We have a 3-day cycle.
Okay.
It goes feed, then water, then feed, water, and then we'll dry out on the 7th day.
Yeah.
You dry out and let it.
Let
And
it
that's
breathe,
good that you do that.
Yeah.
Because
It forces the roots
to
grow even more.
but it also forces them. They're going to grow to seek more moisture.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, that's when you take cuttings.
See.
The last thing, one big mistake the guys take with cuttings, a rookie mistake, is they put a lot of water on there.
Root rot them.
And yeah, you not only do you root rot them, but you want that cutting to have to fight to throw roots out to keep itself alive, to search for water. And so you want to dry your medium out, your cutting medium out, because it actually makes the cuttings.
A lot of the moisture just needs to be up in the top, around the dome, really.
Right.
The moisture doesn't need to be down.
A lot of people don't really know that too, because they think that the harder they're working, the more they're watering, the better their plant's going to be.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
When really your plant needs some dry out phase.
Yeah, we always recommend getting a moisture meter or something just to put in the soil, because it's always just smart to be able to actually check with.
20 days of pinching, 30 days of pinching. When do you decide to stop pinching because it's at that stage where it's no longer in that vegetative growth stage?
Usually you can get about 1 month to a month and a half, maybe 2 months if you want to do a very last pinch, maybe pinch 1 or 2 more things.
Yeah.
But usually, it's about a 6-week pinching cycle.
And between pinching is what? How many weeks?
Typically about 3.
3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, great. During that time, what's your let's call it the pinching time.
Yeah, during the pinch
And so
phase.
this is what you're stepping. You're starting with 600, then you go to what, like 800, and then 1200?
Yeah, just progressively go up to 1200, and we really just check by how big the plants are getting, and you can tell when your plant's getting too much nutrients, because it starts to get
here. And it gets really dark green, huh?
It gets dark green, but then it also starts getting a rustic color on all the leaves.
It does,
and you know for sure to cut it back then.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we usually just monitor it and try to keep it around something good.
None of these plants have tip.
No,
like
yeah,
you
no,
guys
nothing,
are like, this is exactly the color that you want. You can go darker, but the problem is there's going to be more nitrogen. And when it comes to leaching, you're going to have even more time of the flushing, right?
Yeah,
that's all you have to be aware of.
You don't really want.
Yeah, and flowering doesn't really take too much nitrogen anyway. You really want more potassium.
That's right. Oh yeah, most people, growers aren't aware of that.
They think phosphorus is the big one.
It's a potassium hog.
Yeah.
Actually, nitrogen and potassium.
Yeah, that's what it likes the most.
Yeah, but it loves potassium.
The more potassium you can get, the harder the buds will fill in. The bigger the buds will be.
And iron. Cannabis takes in iron like a secondary nutrient, like calcium and magnesium and sulfur. It doesn't use as much. But almost, it's scary in how much iron this plant loves. It loves iron too.
Yeah, which I'm sure is
and
in
the calcium, magnesium. There's certain elements.
Now, which your nutrients would be? What your nutrients would be higher in iron?
Oh, like all of ours.
Everything. Yeah.
Like every one of ours is we make sure we get the iron right. The iron's, I call it the wild card. A lot of people never figure it. Well, no one actually figured it out. We're the ones who actually told the industry, hey. You need to put more iron in these plants, especially in cocoa.
Yeah.
Because with soil, you kind of have a bit of you have a medium that can take more or less of one thing.
Have you guys tried cocoa at all? Like a lot of guys are using cocoa with the 70-30 mix, 70% cocoa with 30% perlite.
We've done cocoa in our stuff.
Typically, we'll do it indoor.
Yeah, usually that's an indoor thing.
Yeah, a lot of guys do indoor. But I've been waiting. Like I know there's some guys outdoor that do it and are getting great results too.
Well, my difficulty with cocoa outdoor is it dries out very quickly.
Does,
so you have to monitor a lot more.
I'd rather use like a peat moss or something because it keeps the moisture better.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about watering. We talked about watering. Now you got this plant. You just put it in. You said you feed twice, then you water. You feed twice, then you water, and then 1 day of drying.
Yes.
That's the 7-day cycle.
Yeah.
But how much water are you giving them? Like, okay, I just came from here. I just transplanted this thing. How much are you watering it? So take me from the time you plant it to all the way to harvest. how do you water?
This guy's the expert.
Yeah, from
all right.
When it's younger, depending on how big the plant will be, you're gonna want to give it at least 2.5 gallons every time you're watering it.
And this is when it comes in the 1 gallon bucket.
Yeah, when
you
it comes
transplant
in,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, after you transplant it into the 50 or 100 gallons you're using. You give it about 2.5 gallons of water. Then maybe in a month, when they're actually like get a big root base and you're getting larger, you'll go to about 5 gallons. And in 50-gallon pots, you don't really need any more than maybe 7 gallons by this phase.
Okay.
But if you're in bigger pots, you're gonna want.
Yeah, bigger.
I saw you got some 100-gallon pots over on the other side of the lake.
We get those all 10 gallons a day.
10 gallons a day.
Yeah,
So
they need it.
10. So I imagine we'd be like doing 20, 30 gallons.
Oh yeah, I say you at least got to do like a 10%, like a tenth of the size of your root of your dirt. You got to do at least a tenth of gallons of water.
50 pots, 5 gallons.
Yeah, basically. That's all you need.
100.
So you got 110 and 220.
15, 150 gallons.
That's a simple formula.
That is, yeah.
Yep.
I like simple stuff like this.
Pretty solid.
Shortcuts. Very, very good. Okay, so now we know the water, we know the feeding. So as this thing is growing, when do you put this cage in? I see all of them have this cage. It's really
There's a lot of cages we had to do. We had to do a lot of cages.
If you're a guerrilla grower, because there's a lot of places in the world that it's not like here.
Yeah, you don't have this luxury
at Granddaddy Farms, right, where you don't have to worry.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to use either like what's called green plastisol coated.
Yeah.
You get the green stuff, or you paint them green, right? But so when do you put this in? Like in the very beginning?
You want to do it right before they start growing out of the bags, kind of.
And this is about what? How many feet across? 3 feet, 2.5 feet, 3 feet across, around like.
Yeah, it's probably about 3 feet across.
3 feet, and you stick it. So when you get about 2.5 foot branches, the plant's about 2.5, maybe getting close to 3 foot, you put it in.
Now the plants will also be able to bend. They can bend out of the thing, so you can get it a little bit bigger than you're gonna make the cages.
A little bit bigger.
Just so they actually can bend out and grasp onto something.
So cuttings versus seed, which ones are bigger yielders for you guys?
Oh, seed all the time. You always get bigger on seed.
And they're more vibrant, healthier?
Yeah, because it's they're like the actual plant instead of just a clone of a plant, which is basically just a branch of a plant from the mother. You get the plant with the taproot and everything, just growing vigorously.
So seed is going to give you a better plant every time. That's what you guys have discovered.
You can find different phenotypes. It'll get you a bigger plant, basically.
I found the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, you'll definitely
if you use the right genetics, seeds are definitely the way to grow big plants outdoors.
Yeah.